Hello, the internet, and welcome back to Road Hazard. On today's episode, we're going to be fiddling with the Buick. I know. Crazy. Anyway, basically today we're going to start with some stuff. Just do it kind of stuff. Address some issues we've been having. First of which is I put these valve covers on it, and this one leaks really bad. Something you can see with all the oil that's kind of here. So I'm going to replace that right now and hopefully get that sealed up better. Obviously, we've got a tiny bit of an exhaust leak up here too. But, well, I suppose I could show you. We do have something else to put in there. So I'm not going to really worry about fixing that because I bought those. More on that later. We have a couple of other things to do that I forgot what they are, but I already bought the parts. So, brakes. We're gonna do brakes. Front and rear brake shoes on this car. And then lastly, we may or may not get to the headers on this particular episode. That might be its own. We'll see. It depends on how much of the exhaust I'm actually willing to do myself. And after what I spent on the rebuild, I'll probably be fully willing to do all that work myself. One of the cool thing about the old Moroso valve covers is the lack of tools required for removal when you use the included studs. It's kind of neat. There's a ton of oil over here. I almost wonder if that oil is coming exclusively from the valve cover. It kind of looks like it, actually. Thing is, it could be the PCV kind of blown out too. See that oil right there? It's because this is non-baffled. I had to drill this hole myself. I modified this valve cover to fit. So I think what we'll do for that is when we have the valve cover off the car, we'll do two things to stop it from dripping oil, at least from around the gasket, which is obviously leaking as well. We're going to RTV the gasket to the valve cover, so it'll stay as we pull it on and off a million times. And then I'll also probably take a little bit of RTV and seal around that grommet, just because that's not a real PCV hole. It's just a hole that I drilled in a valve cover and then stuck a grommet on that was the right size. So I'll throw a little bit of RTV around that before we put it back on the car, just to make sure that that's not our problem too. So yeah, we'll pull all the T-bars off of this guy. They're all just kind of hand tight, you see. And we'll get those valve covers off of here and get in there. Next, throw some fresh oil in the thing, which I would do right now, except Tommy's in the way, so I suppose we'll wait to do that. But in the meantime, I got a quick little thing we can do. I picked this up on eBay. The dome light in the car is just like a bare light bulb. It actually does work. But the problem is, it's very, very bright because it's a bare bulb, as you might imagine. So, I'm hoping that this will just kind of snap on there like it's supposed to. It's a repop one, so we'll see if it's any good. It should fit right in the little channel and then push in. It's a little too big, looks like. Ugh. It doesn't really want to because it's a tiny bit too big, but it is plastic, which means I'm just gonna shove it in until it gets stuck. And there, that's installed. Dome light lens. We're 1% closer to a finished interior. One of the other things that we're gonna do to basically kill time while Tommy struggles to find his oil drain plug is put some new bumper bolts on the front. And you're like, why? I'll show you why. It's a nitpicky thing, but I notice it because I did it. You know, yeah, the right bumper bolt there, and the ones on the bottom are regular, obviously. And then that guy. No. Normally not really one for aesthetics. We did a dome light lens and bumper bolts today. I know. I'm going soft. Much better. Alright, just dropped the oil. It's nice and clean. There's no flake or none of that crap in it, which is good. So we'll go ahead and throw some fresh oil in there and a new filter. We're getting the wheels off to do the brakes. And then we'll oil. You know, the best part of a brake job is not doing it. Plenty of shoes. Wheel cylinders look good. Hardware looks okay. Y'all should have seen the rears. And maybe I'll go ahead and pull that drum back off real quick and show you. No, we're just gonna do that. Anyway, here's the front. So we're gonna go ahead and do a quick little cheapo rebuild. All right, so the front has been rebuilt. That's good. Same with that side. I mean, you can see these are brand new. The little spring cup deals, the springs still have all their factory paint on them. There's a brand new wheel cylinder in here. We actually really don't have to do anything. Yeah, see that? There's not even a lot of brake dust in there. These are pretty good. I think what we will do is go ahead and clean up the drums. I think that squeaking I was hearing was coming from the sheer amount of brake dust and dirt that was in there. It was pretty excessive. So I will shoot some brake clean at all 4 drums, get them all cleaned up, and we'll throw them back on. I'm really not worried about it. There's no groove on the inside of the drum. They're nice and smooth. There's a tiny lip here, but I'm not really that concerned about it. Oh, dang. That is an intense muffler bracket. That's that. Also got the correct filter. Smashed the shit out of my finger taking that drum off. This one at least appears to be correct, so that means it's right. Okay, we went ahead and rotated all 4 tires while we had it up in the air. Oil's nice and fresh. Kind of ready to put the car back on the ground. I expected to have enough to do in this one with the brakes and everything that we might be able to squeak the exhaust into its own video, but I might not. Then again, this is my YouTube channel. I do whatever I want. If I wanted to make the video 42 seconds long, I could do that. Maybe I should do that one of these days. I just like turn it on and be like, hey, what's up? And then fart and then turn it off. Move on to the next thing, which is probably going to be prepping the exhaust that I picked up for paint. I think we'll actually do the installation in the next one, but we'll sand and paint and all that stuff before, and then we'll see if we can find the mufflers we're going to switch to as well. These are the headers I bought. Supposedly they came out of a different Chevelle, so I'm hoping that they'll just kind of drop in. What I plan to do here is kind of scrub these up a little bit, clean them up, and then paint them. So I think what we'll do right now is bring them into the garage and start going ham on them with some scrubbies, and then just kind of break the surface crud off, and then I'll go inside and grab the paint, and we'll shoot a couple coats of paint at this thing to get them to a nice even color, so they look a little bit better in the car than just crusty old headers. Let's start with the passenger side. Just grab a sheet. Let's see, you kind of knock off that surface scale so the paint sticks a little better. Not bad. A lot of that stuff just kind of came right off onto my hands, so that's fun. But this side's pretty much done already. So you can see, I mean, that only took, how long? 10 minutes. Obviously it won't have been 10 minutes on video, but it only took me 10 minutes with a piece of sandpaper. And I stopped and talked a whole bunch in the beginning, so you can see really how simple doing something like this is. Like, you guys remember that hurricane, by the way? Helene? I'm fine, by the way. I'm in Central Florida, so we got some water, but that was kind of it. Alright, so we'll just leave those there in front of the fan for a little while. I've got a few minutes before my day really starts, so I let the headers dry overnight just to make sure they were extra good. I've got the VHT black we're going to use. I think this is a matte finish. And I'm just going to hose these things down with a couple layers of paint and then stick them in the garage to dry on a piece of cardboard. And once they're all dry, I mean, they'll be ready to put on the car. So we're not going to paint them in here because my brother would cry. So we'll go out to our paint booth.
Yeah, it's gonna come out okay.
Got the one done. Don't ever let anybody tell you that spray bombing stuff doesn't make it look better, because there's your before and after. Gonna look pretty good in the car. Just a nice flat matte black. I mean, that's it. That's all it is. It's so easy. It's undeniably better. Unless you're trying to make your car look like a piece of crap for one of those low buck shootouts or something. Okay, so both sets of both headers are painted now. Nice flat black. We're not going to install those in this video. Probably next one, maybe the one after. Anyway, the other thing that we are going to do in this video is just crawl underneath and do a nut and bolt check. And then once that's done, we're done. We do have both headers fogged black, good to go. All we got to do is wait for those to really dry, tack up. We'll probably throw one more coat, and then they're ready to go in the car. So that's all it takes. I mean, we probably have 30 total minutes in that whole project, so worth doing. All right, we had talked about a nut and bolt check, right? I just crawled under there and had me a look. And here's what I found. So, as you can see, we've got some dampness going on down here. It's all kind of on this half of the motor, though. It's all along the pin and on the block. And for the longest time, I thought it was the valve cover because it's kind of coming from the top down, it looks like. But I changed that, put a new one on there, and sealed it up good. It's not leaking, so it's not that. And then I got to thinking, what would cause oil to only come over here? And you know what? It's being slung by the crankshaft. That front seal on the timing cover around the crank is probably shot. And as the crankshaft spins, because it spins this way, it's throwing the oil up onto this side of the car. And that's why everything down here has that nice thick coat of oily dirt, because that oil is being thrown this way. And that also explains why it's able to get basically all along the radiator hose and all this and the frame rail, and basically, yeah, it's, well, you can see there's a lot of it, but all up over here, all over everything here. Because remember, all this stuff was clean and new when we were in here before with the suspension. Like, all of it was still bare metal. It all looked like that. Now it looks like that. So what that tells me is that we need to replace that seal. So I went ahead and ordered one from the parts store. I got a seal puller. When that comes in, we'll go ahead and change that, and we'll be good to go there. So in lieu of that, we're going to stop this video here because I don't have those parts. I don't have the time to change them this week. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. Every like, every comment, every subscriber. Look, a tiny lizard. I think he's trying to communicate. He's trying to tell us we can save 15% or more on car insurance if we switch to somebody else. Yeah. See you next time.